video, and you can go and watch and see how technically gifted he is. We're of course looking at a bit of the history of the man here, but in terms of technical ability, he is really one of the best midfielders in the league.
Szoboszlai can tear up the Premier League if he...
Will Dominik Szoboszlai destroy the Premier League? Without wasting any more time, guys, let's get straight into it.
Liverpool have secured an absolute beast in the person of Dominik Szoboszlai, and we really think he'll tear the Premier League apart. For those who still do not know who this lad is, you can find out all about him here. But in this video today, we'll be telling you what...
We'll definitely be checking that one out later.
Dominik Szoboszlai will destroy the Premier League. First of all, the kid is a unit.
Okay.
He's 6'1" and has a really good build. He's good in the air, which makes him an asset in both boxes, and his physique makes it almost impossible for you to get the ball off him, which is a quality you surely want in your midfielder. And it's interesting that we call him a midfielder, because while that's his primary position, the truth is that he's actually a lot more than that. And his versatility is one reason we believe Szoboszlai will destroy the Premier League.
Okay, so straight away, also from other videos we've made on Szoboszlai, we also know his technical ability is through the roofs. He's amazing with the ball at his feet. But just quickly, physical ability, something we talk about a lot. Not that it is a make or break thing in football. You of course have Lionel Messi, the greatest player of all time, who doesn't have the greatest physique. In my opinion, Messi is still in great shape, but compared to other players, he doesn't have the greatest physique. But the fact that Szoboszlai has this frame already is an advantage, especially in a more physical Premier League. And then you also have the added fact that, as we looked in the other two videos we made on Szoboszlai so far in the channel, his versatility on the pitch is insane. Of course, Klopp can play him as an 8, but as a 10, he can be a lot better.
He can function effectively
as a winger, he can be a little bit better.
Midfielder, right midfielder, attacking midfielder, left.
As you can see, he can also play on the left. He can play on the middle. I still would want to play Szoboszlai in the middle and give him the keys of the team. I would still prefer him to play in that position, but the versatility, the fact that he can play in different positions, definitely a nice bonus.
Winger and even a striker. He's that kind of guy that you can plug into.
I don't know if I really want to play Szoboszlai as a striker. There's a lot of players who can say that can play striker, but I wouldn't. I just wouldn't.
Different positions on the field if certain other players
are unavailable. It's like a Kai Havertz type of thing.
He's more like an attacking version of James Milner, and he's also not injured.
Okay, in terms of versatility, you can compare him to James Milner, because that's about it. Because Szoboszlai, in my opinion, is better than James Milner.
Injury prone.
At least offensively.
Because of injury in the last 2 seasons. The man stays fit as a fiddle, and this will particularly come as good news to Liverpool fans, because in recent years, the Reds have been plagued by injuries, from Thiago to Luis Diaz to Jota to Arthur. The club has had their fair share of players who have been sidelined for months because of injury problems. It will be really comforting for the Reds to have a player who they know will always be available.
Look at that finish. Yo, this guy's nice. So I'm talking about Szoboszlai.
Fair share of players who have been sidelined for months because of injury problems. It'll be really comforting for the Reds to have a player who they know will always be available.
Bro.
Now imagine if that player who is always available is also one hell of a baller and can also play in about 5 different positions on the field. This guy will be totally unstoppable. And on top of all that, the kid is also really good at set pieces.
Bro,
be it penalty.
What is that free kick? First he made the ball knuckle. Oh my god, this guy's something. I'm jealous. I'll be honest, I'm jealous. As a United fan, I am jealous. That's crazy that you guys are. Oh my days, that's crazy.
And on top of all that, the kid is also really good at set pieces, be it penalties or free kicks. Szoboszlai is something of a specialist. He has a habit of putting all his penalties in one direction, but he still somehow always scores them. He has missed just 1 penalty in his career, and that is a really good success rate for anybody. He's also scored some really fine free kicks for both club and country, and who knows, he may soon become the designated free kick taker for Liverpool. The club's number one.
That's gonna. Yeah, I was about to say about Trent. It's gonna be hard for him to be the number 1 set piece option with Trent on the team. Penalties he may be able to take because Salah and what he's been doing. But free kicks is going to be hard because Trent is one of the best free kick takers I have ever seen. The man is insane, and when it comes to corners as well. But just between those two, they can pick and choose. I think that from a distance, because of Szoboszlai's ability to make the ball knuckle, I think you can favor Szoboszlai. But Trent, when you're getting around that edge of the box, it's Trent's free kicks all day, every day, in my opinion.
One free kick taker as of now is a defender, so it's not unlikely that they're pushing an attacking player up the pecking order. The fullbacks can take...
That doesn't matter. That's a poor take. That actually, the fact that he's a defender does actually not matter. It's a set piece.
Corners while Szoboszlai takes the free kicks. Also, if Salah's not on the pitch, we really don't see anybody else who would be favoured ahead of Szoboszlai to take a penalty.
Yeah.
But that's not even all about Dominik Szoboszlai. He's also fast, is a good dribbler, and is very creative. Adding these qualities to the ones we've already mentioned makes you see how easily...
Again, if you haven't watched the channel, this is a plug to myself, but anyways, if you haven't watched the channel, we've made 2 reactions on Szoboszlai already. I'll leave them pinned down in this video, and you can go and watch and see how technically gifted he is. We're of course looking at a bit of the history of the man here, but in terms of technical ability, he is really one of the best midfielders in the league.
Szoboszlai can tear up the Premier League if he keeps his head down. And speaking of his head, his mentality is another reason that we think the boy will be unstoppable.
Hey, hopefully,
he has just the right mentality to play at the top level. He knows what he wants and he always goes for it. His mentality is also what makes him a good leader. And that's something Liverpool need, as it appears that they're in a transition phase. They've already said goodbye to their vice-captain, James Milner, and they could also say goodbye to their captain, Jordan Henderson, in this window. Roberto Firmino, who is also a senior player, has left too. So the club has to begin to look...
Facts. That's a great point, actually, not just for Liverpool fans this season, but in the next 2 to 3 seasons, you need players like Szoboszlai, leaders in the team. You've lost Mane, you've lost Firmino, you've lost mainly James Milner and Jordan Henderson, 2 key characters in the midfield. I usually joke around with Louis in the Player's Choice channel about, you overhype leadership too much, but to a certain extent, leadership is important for a team like Liverpool, for a club of this magnitude that's trying to win year after year. And to have characters in your midfield like Szoboszlai who can rally the troops, the likes of Darwin Núñez, the guys of Jota, Luis Diaz, someone who can rally the troops and go for it. As we know, Liverpool's have been quoted as the mentality monsters. So you definitely need a strong character in your team like Szoboszlai. Players that play under managers like Jurgen Klopp, like Pep Guardiola. You need to have the things up here sorted out. Otherwise, you won't be successful.
That's definitely to who will lead the new generation when all the OGs are gone. Szoboszlai is that guy.
Hopefully,
he's just 22 years old, but he's already the captain of the Hungary national team. For him to be leading his national team at 22, you should know what kind of mentality this guy has. So to be that good a baller and to also have such a good mentality is a really lethal combo for a player. And you know what puts it all together? The club he decided to play for. He could have gone to Arsenal, but he chose Liverpool because he knows that the club suits his style of play a lot better. Liverpool are such a good transitioning and counter-attacking team, and Szoboszlai himself is awesome at transitions. Liverpool...
I think Szoboszlai would also do well at Arsenal. It's hard for me to think of a team that Szoboszlai wouldn't do well in. To me, the key separator is the fact that Liverpool need midfielders as in today, as in right now. When Szoboszlai came, they needed midfielders yesterday. It was that important for Liverpool to get players in. Whereas Arsenal, they already have in Odegaard. They already have in Kai Havertz. You have Declan Rice. It's like it's not that Szoboszlai couldn't get into that team, but it would be a lot harder than for him to go to Liverpool and just be a starter from the get-go. As we've seen from the first game of the season, he was a starter. So it just makes more sense for him to go to Liverpool.
Really good at gegenpressing, and Szoboszlai can do that too. He spent time in Germany. The time he spent in Germany also made him better at it, so working with a German coach in the Premier League will make his transition very smooth.
Hopefully.
Liverpool had a need for him. They haven't really found a replacement for Coutinho since the Brazilian left, and looking at his skill set...
That's what I was just saying. There was that need, and that need to me is the most important thing and why it was good for him to go to Liverpool.
Szoboszlai could really be that guy. He can dribble, he can create, he can drift from the wing and drive down the middle, he can play free kicks, he can shoot from outside the box. He's really the perfect replacement, and he also has the numbers to back it up. Last season he had 23 goal contributions.
Damn. 23 goal contributions. 23 goal contributions. Him. It's him for real.
In the 2 seasons before that, he had 19 each. But in the 2019-2020 season, he was a different beast, managing 30 goal contributions in 40 games. Those are the kinds of numbers he put up at Leipzig and Salzburg. Now imagine...
Yo. We were talking about productivity. Productivity is something I do not like to discredit. There's a lot of things in football that I believe have been narrative driven and that I don't count a lot. But productivity, especially when you're in a big club, matters a lot. Hopefully, I'll just say we will expect 20 goal contributions from him this season. But if you're talking about a nice 10, 15, him being impactful is definitely going to be important. But 30 in 40 games? That's tough. That's tough.
What he'll do when he's surrounded by much better players in Liverpool. Nah, he is really about to eat the league up. Also, his timing was just perfect. He joined Liverpool at a time when they're doing a little rebuilding, and that means he's sort of joining them at the ground floor, which is always good for any player. Liverpool were down last season,
they were.
But we all know that they won't stay down for too long. So he's just going to slide right in, and it's going to be up and away from there. For real, Dominik Szoboszlai has all it takes to really dominate in the Premier League, physically, mentally and tactically. You'll better watch out for this 22-year-old Hungarian midfielder. He's from Hungary and he's really hungry for success.
Okay, that was just corny.
In the English top flight. But do you share those sentiments? Do you think Szoboszlai will tear up the Premier League? Or do you think it'll turn out to be a flop? Let us know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.
That'll be a video. I'll leave the link to this video in the description, of course. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Once again, let me know in the comments what you think of Szoboszlai. If you want to support this channel, if you enjoyed this content, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share. Do all those things, so please help me grow. And as per usual, I'll see you guys soon.